there a link between global war and religion? Hello, this is ChartGPT. Today, I asked that question: is there a link between global war and religion? A couple factors here. I know we're all looking at is World War III imminent here as the conflicts around the world beginning to spin out of control. We thought we'd ask that question since it is kind of a religious holiday season in here. First off, let's take a look at some data from Statistia, and they're suggesting that from the year 2000, 2003 to about right now, there has been a decline in church attendance. Primarily the one on focus there is the Catholics. I know the Catholic Church has been going through a lot of gyrations recently with a lot of the incidents that have been going on there, but overall church attendance has been in a slight decline. I wouldn't say it's huge, but it's certainly there. If you look at the trend, it's been pretty steady since the World War II basically until just recently, about the 2010, when there's been a steep dive. Of course, some people might attach that to the ongoing culture war going on, as well as potential social media. Kind of highlight this has been kind of a meme that on a lot of mainstream narratives that are trying to suggest that there's a link between religion and the destructions of the institutions of democracy. Let's just take a listen to Joy Reid.
And the last thing I will add is that when you look at the sometimes violent history of organized religion, from the slave trade to the Crusades, the Spanish Inquisition, and the Salem witch trials, to the religion-based conflicts and conquest in places like Israel, Palestine, or the emergence, again, per Robbie Jones, of right-wing Christianity-based white supremacy here in the U.S., it should not surprise you, are grounded in religious extremism. I'm not saying religion is always bad. Sometimes it does beautiful things. But organized religion has, shall we say, a colorfully mixed history. And right now in this country, religious extremism mixed with white nationalism and that Trump cult of personality are straining our society and our democracy to the breaking point.
Of course, this is MSNBC's kind of go-to fashion, and that is trying to make some race in there. But nevertheless, they're really talking about religious extremism and the dangers to the institutions of democracy in America. Oh dear. Anyway, so we thought we'd look at this and say, well, let's look at more historically what's going on here. And there was a study, you can take a look at the reference links in the post link in the description box, of the 1700 some odd wars caused between 8000 BC and 2000 AD. 93% of them were secular and caused by government. That doesn't mean they don't use religion to foster their ideas and get people motivated. Nevertheless, they're suggesting that 93, and that's a huge percentage, and there's a breakout there between Islam and non-Islam, so that's an interesting point there. You can take a look at this chart over the history, at least from 1400. If you actually take a look at the number of deaths per 100,000 people, and it's been pretty steady up and down as wars come and go, almost cyclical here. Recently it's come off, but that only because we're in a kind of a slight good times here. Of course, that could be changing quite soon here as wars are beginning to bubble up everywhere. So we'll see how that goes. If you look at the red line, the blue line there is a different data set, but overall it has been flat, even though we're at a low point now, but all that could be changed. So is there a link between religion and global conflict? I'm not sure there is one there. One could be, is it a cause or just an effect? This is kind of the same idea there with Douglas MacArthur, where he said there's no atheists in foxholes. Again, that may be an effect, not necessarily a cause. People, when you're in a foxhole, you'll think of anything to get out. So anyway, it is the point there to be thought of. Anyway, give us your take. Take our online poll. Is there a link between global war and religion, or is it just an effect of what's going on in the geopolitics of government? And take a look at the AI. What it says is the incidence of death by war and what the major causes could be. In these times of wars and rumors of war, as we go into 2024, is something to consider. Now, don't forget to subscribe.